Since I was a child, I've always been fascinated by people and the choices they'd make to create the lives that they would live. Specifically, I've explored biologically how some people seem to transcend their circumstances, regardless of what happened. Yet others would fall victim or become a product of their environment, affecting their health, their well-being, and the lives that they would live. For me, this is a personal journey that's evolved into a professional passion. I spent the first 2 decades of my life being raised in the most challenging and poorest community in my country. I was surrounded by crime, violence, drugs, and everything else from the darker shades of life. It was a frequency of survival. The irony is that I've spent my adult life learning and experiencing how ordinary people can become extraordinary. Today, I'm extremely grateful to raise my family in the most abundant and affluent community in my country. So I've had the most extreme in terms of contrast and duality of my life. The first half of my life, I let the circumstances around me dictate the state within me, leading to very poor choices and even poorer results. I don't really have the words to explain what it feels like when I was 18 years old and I got to a place in my life where the idea of taking my life and leaving this world was far more appealing than actually staying. That was my rock bottom. That has been my greatest challenge. Yet, it's also served me to get to where I am today. And I still have more questions and answers, but I ask, are life's greatest challenges blessings in disguise? So in order to explore this, we have to go back to the beginning and understand how this vehicle is made. So all of us were created from one cell from mom, one cell from dad. And the first structure that developed inside our mother's body was a human nervous system. It consists of the brain, the spinal cord, peripheral nerves, and dazzling array of neurotransmitters. Stay with me here. The intelligence within the human nervous system takes us from one cell to 100 trillion cells before we're even born. That's profound, because the greatest minds that ever walked the face of the earth, we can't create a single cell in a petri dish or a lab. Yet this intelligence creates tens of thousands of new cells every single day. Created 2 arms, 2 legs, an immune system, a mind that can think and create, a heart that pumps blood through miles of blood vessels. Every thought, every action, everything that happens biologically is controlled by the intelligence within our nervous system. Fritz Albert Popp, leading biophysicist, he said that every single cell in the body will go through 100,000 chemical reactions every second. Imagine that. 100 trillion cells, 100,000 chemical reactions every second. I don't even know what number that is, it's so large. All perfectly synchronized, perfectly coordinated by the intelligence and power within our nervous system. So you might be sitting there thinking, well, if I have this amazing power and intelligence, why does my life not feel extraordinary? In life, I believe we have free will and choice. And based on the choices we make, we directly impact our life's journey. Imagine this for a moment. Imagine I have 2 beds of soil filled with organic matter, all the nutrients, all the minerals, and all the goodness to create life. With this bed of soil, I completely ignore it. But with this bed of soil, I give it seedlings. I give it sunlight. I give it water. I cultivate and nurture the power and potential within the soil. What do I have here several months from now? Colorful flowers, vibrant greens, lush plants, something extraordinary. What do I have here? Meh. Weeds, less than ordinary, kind of like my life used to be. This sums up the health, the well-being, the consciousness, and the results that we create as humanity. Think of your nervous system as a computer that's constantly processing information from our environment. How our inner intelligence makes sense of our outer world is through our nervous system and our biology. It's our sense organs. What we smell, see, hear, taste, touch, and that intuitive gut feeling is nothing more than an extension of our nervous system. It's how our internal biology makes sense of our outer world, trying to create internal adaptations to process and integrate that information to maintain homeostasis and balance. The human nervous system does not leave us when we're born. It stays with us, and it cultivates and nurtures our potential every moment of every single day. But we have a choice. Biologically, if we look at life from cradle to grave, it actually seems plausible that the actual purpose of life is to grow and evolve. Biological systems integrating life experiences, allowing our biology and consciousness to become more coherent, more organized, and more complex. I spent the first half of my life not integrating very much. As a result, my biology and consciousness was stuck in the frequency of my challenges and trauma. They've done studies with downhill skiers. They got them to ski down a hill while measuring their nervous system, and it fired a certain way. They then took the same athletes and got them to visualize skiing down the hill, measuring their nervous system. Whether they were really skiing or just thinking about skiing, their nerve system had similar firing. The nerve system didn't know the difference between past, present, and future. Whether the experience happened 20 minutes ago or 20 years ago, the nerve system processes it right here, right now, and we live in the biology and perception of that challenge or experience. If you're taken advantage of and have not integrated it, you believe people can't be trusted. If your partner cheated on you and you haven't integrated it, you believe romantic partners can't be faithful. If you did poorly in math and science and haven't integrated it, you believe math and science, just not your thing. Our biology gets stuck in that frequency. We stop integrating, we stop evolving and growing, we stop cultivating our power and potential. When our biology is stuck in the past, our predominant emotional state is guilt. Stuck in the future, it's fear. And either way, we live in the darker shades of life. That's the result of unintegrated experiences running through our biology, kind of like a disc with a scratch, and it plays the same verse over and over, and it goes something like this. I'm not good enough. I'm not attractive enough. I can't do it. It's too hard, so I may as well give up. Brain scans have shown that brain waves become incoherent. We fragment ourselves and decrease our potency and power. Biologically, we go to fight or flight. We release stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine, breaks down our minds and bodies. We make poor choices with even poorer results. Our cells decay and degenerate. It leads to symptoms, sickness, and disease, all of which is nothing more than a tap in the shoulder trying to motivate us to get back on the conveyor belt of life, integrate our experiences so we can continue to grow and evolve. I've been through some really challenging things in the first half of my life. And as a healthcare practitioner, I've helped countless people integrate their challenges. And I'm here to tell you, with the right perspective, every challenge is an opportunity and a gift. A gift because it holds the potential for a total transformation on the other side of it. When we decide to cultivate and nurture the intelligence within our biology by integrating our life experiences, by looking at our stuff, something extraordinary happens. Brain waves move to a state of union and wholeness. We release dopamine. We release serotonin, endorphins. Our levels of a hormone, oxytocin, peak 200 times. That rushes to a structure in our brain called the amygdala. And guess what happens? We shut off anger. We shut off fear and guilt. We shut off anxiety. And all that's left biologically is a feeling of grace and reverence for life. Brain scans show our brainwaves move to a high state of coherence. We make quantum leaps in our life. We're left with a feeling of gratitude. We integrate, we grow, and evolve, and that's when life becomes this amazing field of opportunities and possibilities. I believe life is a choice. It's not what happens to us. It's how we respond and integrate the curveballs that life throws at us. The process is really simple, but don't confuse simple with being easy. If we integrate our life experiences, we cultivate, empower, and nurture the intelligence and power within our biology, the one that invokes those 100,000 chemical reactions every single second. Our biology moves to a state of wholeness and union. We see through the lens of possibility, and your life becomes the greatest expression of who you are. You, your biology and state, your choices and results will all move from ordinary to extraordinary. The same way that all 100 trillion cells make up this beautiful vehicle we call our mind-body, contributing to the whole, making the whole far greater than the sum of its parts. I see humanity as a single organism, and I see every single person on the planet as an individual cell contributing to that organism. We have an opportunity. You, me, our community, our city, our country, our nation, our world. When we tap into our greatness, our extraordinary, we also make humanity far greater than the sum of its parts. My journey has shown me the challenges in our life are not meant to stop us. They're not meant to hold us back from achieving our dreams. In fact, it's the opposite. They are meant to help us truly discover who we are and what we're made of. Because that, my friends, is what moves us from ordinary to extraordinary. Thank you.